All right, welcome to Watching with Styles, y'all. I apologize. It's been a rough week. The wife and daughter has the flu, so that's why I'm a little bit late. So I apologize. And I thought I sent a tweet out about an hour or so ago, and apparently I looked at my timeline and it didn't go out. So, again, I apologize. I just couldn't miss it today because tomorrow would be even worse because I've got indoor meet and indoor track lasts forever, and I definitely wouldn't be able to broadcast tomorrow. So I'm like, I got to get this in. We can get some of this in, right? At least the start of it. And I'm going to start you with this, y'all. Cover 4 is my favorite defense. Now, what I'm going to go over is definitely the watered down version. And the crazy part about it is there are so many different variations of this. Nick Saban runs it a different way than Gary Patterson ran it, than what I will run it, than what some other coach will run it. But the principles are this, and I didn't put the squares in the back end because even though it's cover 4, in essence, everybody has a quarter of the field. So it's 53 1/3 yards. So there's approximately 13 yards apiece, but it's not ran like that. So in essence, like I usually go over the strengths and weaknesses. The weaknesses of this coverage is you have 6 underneath zones, right? You have 6 underneath zones, but only 3 guys to essentially cover all 6. So because of that, this whole area is really your weak spot. Excuse me. However, in my estimation, it isn't, because we are reading, like for me, I try to keep it simple. We are pattern reading off of number 2, but also number 1. But in my estimation, the release of this guy dictates everything. So, in essence, simplicity, simple, layman's terms, this is what should happen. This linebacker has flats. This linebacker has flats. And this guy has middle hook. So, if you can look at it from that standpoint, the problem we have is twofold. If these linebackers I don't look like I can get to that linebacker, can it? If these linebackers are evenly distributed, right? Even though these two guys have flats, if he runs an out route, they are just naturally just done, right? They're just done. So any type of quick flat route, in essence, or any kind of quick hitch, they kind of got you. Because he's just, the distance here to here is so far that you're pretty much cooked, in essence. However, here is the most important part. What's up, Ben? As I said earlier, Ben, I apologize for the short notice. Thank you for showing up as usual, brother. You are definitely a consistent viewer. I appreciate that. So here's the deal with cover 4. What's up, Shane? So the late notice got you on board, Shane. I appreciate it. And Shane, don't be shy. Ask any question you want to ask, and I will try my best to answer. All right. So here's the deal. The other thing, I'm just thinking, y'all. The other thing that can really hurt cover 4 is poor eyes of the safeties and poor being in sync with the corners. All right. So if they run any play action and these safeties are not reading these guys very well, or they run RPOs and they come downhill, say both of them, butt naked open. Because anything like this, the corners are beat because they're beat by their leverage. They're outside leverage of these receivers. Okay? So safeties have to have good eye discipline. Now, it seems like, y'all, if you watch me anytime, you know I hate this word. It seems like on the surface, this is a very soft coverage because corners, for me, I would like my corners to line up at 9. I have my safety line up at 9. So it looks like we are straight across. So that means we are a good distance away from this receiver, right? We are quite a bit away from him. We're 9 yards away. But if you play it at 9, and this is why for me, I would like cover 4 to be sort of my base look, is because now this guy or whatever sideline they're on doesn't have any idea what we're running, right? So like I've covered the last couple weeks, we can play cover 2 from here, right? Corner, I'm not going to move him. Corner can sit, read number 2, sit, play under number 2 and be able to drive. Safety should still be able to get over top, right? See what we could do. If they run verts here, corner's gonna have to climb on number 2 because safety has, climb on number 1 because safety has number 2 and cover 2. You can still line up in a cover 4 look. If you don't like it at 9, you can bring your corners up to 7 and still play cover 4, cover 2, or cover 3. If you want to play cover 3, you start here. And the safe just falls down. Got curl flat. Corner has deep third. All this alignment. So, even though you have an idea of where the weak spot is, you can mix up coverages just out of the same base alignment. I like this alignment because now the quarterback doesn't know what you're running. Because in cover 3, right, this safety is going to fall down and corner's going to go back. You know it's cover 3. Say free safety lines up in the middle of the formation. Quarterback knows it's cover 3. And in cover 3, what's the weak spot? It's the flat. So they're going to flat route you to death, right? If you line up and show them cover 3, right? If you line up and show cover 2, in theory, the corners are going to be close to the line of scrimmage. And you're going to have split safeties. And now, quarterback knows that's cover 2. Exactly, Shane. Disguise is everything. All right? So, just like I said, I don't know if I said this last week, but just like I've said before, I think I did. I don't know if I showed it like this. Like Shane just got me with the disguise. Like, even though you line up in cover 3, you can switch responsibilities. You can have this safety. And here's the great thing about it. If you have 5 DBs that know how to play all 5 positions, it comes in handy. And I'm going to go on that with cover 4 big time. So, let's say you want to play cover 3 and you disguise cover 3 right here. You can run cover 2 out of this if you want to, right? If this guy understands corner discipline, this corner can roll. We can roll a cover 2, and now he plays the corner and he plays the safety. There are so many things that you can do. Yeah, I feel like the sky's cover. It messes with everybody, man. So man, this is why I like when people ask questions. And this is the toughest thing for people to understand. A lot of people want to compare college to NFL. And it's not a fair comparison. So in the NFL, the skies and coverage is a little bit tougher. For one, the hashes are closer. So therefore, you don't have a boundary in a field side formations. All the formations are pretty much 50-50. So you kind of got to show, in essence, what you're playing. Second thing is, since you can't touch someone after 5 yards, it's a big advantage for the offense. So therefore, in the NFL, you have to play a little more man. So you can disrupt the timing of the route from the line of scrimmage. In college, I can disrupt the route anytime, as long as the ball's not in there. NFL, that's why if you watch NFL press man, and this is why I hate it, in my opinion, when these young guys watch NFL corners definitely have to play a little bit more of a soft pedal. And what I mean by soft pedal, if you don't know, I'm just going to go over it now. And it's hard for me to go over it because I don't have video. So soft pedal is usually this corner lines up about 1.5 yards away from the receiver, right? And so now instead of playing press and you stay there and you press them hard, you're aggressive with your hands. Not normally, sometimes in the NFL, you see these corners and they up 1.5, but they soft backpedaling, right? You can soft backpedal. So now at 5 yards, if I can get my hands on them, I can, because after 5, it's a 5-yard penalty, which really isn't anything, but it's an automatic first down. I sent a tweet out this week or last week. There was a British guy who said he doesn't understand that how the offense, if they get a penalty, you bag them up, but you repeat the down. But when a defense get a penalty, it's a 5-yard penalty, but it's an automatic first down. Like he said, it doesn't make sense, which in essence it doesn't. Is it easy to isolate a cornerback in college? Whew. Is it easier to isolate a corner? I don't think the hashes makes a difference on isolating a corner. I'm just talking off the top of my head, saying if I am trying to isolate a corner in college, I would really put my best receiver into the boundary if we're on the hash and put trips onto the field. And with the field being so much wider, so much distance, the defense going to have to dictate, is that safety going to be able to help out on that backside corner to the one receiver side? Let me put it here. I'm doing this exaggeration just so it makes sense with the hashes, right? All right. So if you play trips into the field, this safety either is going to come over a little bit to help on a number 3 vertical, or just more receivers to here. He's going to typically shift over a little bit. So you know right now that this guy is ISO. So I don't know if it's easy or not. I think it's about the same. The only thing is, in the NFL, you're going to probably see a lot more press man. Even in zone, which I'm going to go over this in quarters, even in zone, in cover 4, some people have the corners press. So I'm not sure if it's easier though. Here's the biggest thing about the hashes for me, is that now in college, this throw into the boundary is short. This throw into the field is extremely long. So if I'm passing the ball in college, for me, I'm going to probably attack the short side because it's just a shorter throw. In NFL, there is no shorter throw. The hashes are close together, so every throw is long. And that's why you have quarterbacks that are great in college, but sometimes are not as good in NFL, because every throw is a long throw. The ball game in the NFL is played in the middle of the field, pretty much. In college, the game is played on wide hashes. So I don't have to have a great arm if we run great route concepts into the boundary. So I'm not sure. The isolation, I don't think is easy or anyway. You just isolate a corner. You can find a corner. You can hunt down a corner, especially if you're playing a man team and they want to put those corners on islands consistently. You can easily hunt them out. If the corners don't travel with the receivers, which means if this is the best receiver and he lines up over here, if that corner doesn't travel, I'm just going to put my best receiver somewhere in the slot or motion him. Right? Even if he goes here and I will motion him. So now he's got to travel. Now it's harder to play man on motion. The hash width I don't think people really understand how much of a factor it is. It is huge. I mean, if you think about it this way, right? Like you can run, just imagine these receivers so far out, even though the pass is long, you can run good tunnel screens or bubble screens to the wide side of the field, especially you got trips, because now you got probably 2-on-2, and now this linebacker, even if he plays half the distance, right? You got a 1-on-1 with him and the linebacker. Now these boys got a long way to run. just a long way to run, right? Or contrary to that, but that ball's going to take a long time to get there. Or you can get the ball to the receiver quicker, and if you see it, sometimes Tennessee does it. Here is a shorter throw, and these guys are closer to it. But you notice on these screens, these receivers try to go up the sideline because they want to run away from this trash. So hashes play a big difference. The shorter throw is big, in my opinion. Especially if you spread them out horizontally to the field. Now the defense has to react to that. Now sometimes you have ability to block easier here. See how you would block it. I don't know how you would block it. Here, get the linebacker maybe. Here, then pull. So there was the advantages. I think like Liam, when he was here the first time, I don't think he used the hash mark advantages enough. And I said that somewhere during the season. I think we was playing Vandy or we were playing Tennessee. And they practiced at the Titans facility. Like, man, I remember someone showed me, like, man, these hashes are different. It is something that you can take for granted. All right, going forward. Here's why the eyes of the corner and the safety have to be in sync. All right. Safeties are lined up at, I'm going to say 9 yards flat-footed. They're not taking a back pedal because they are in the run game. And that's a big reason why I like cover 4, because then you get two safeties, not in the box, but in the outskirts of the box. So they can fill pretty quickly. So, but in pass defense, my thing is number 2 vertical. So, number 2 vertical is everything. Okay? If number 2 is vertical, the safety locks on him man to man. But now the problem is, what dictates vertical? If the ball is on the 15-yard line, it's easy to count 5 or 10 yards. If the ball is on the 13-yard line, now what is 10 yards? So for me, for young guys, I like to simplify and say when the receiver gets to the depth of the linebacker, we're locking up man to man. Period. I would rather us play man to man than for us to think he's vertical or not vertical, and then we get beat. So, man to man, if he's the depth of the linebackers, we're playing man. All right? And remember, this linebacker, I'm just going to put him there. This linebacker is buzzing the flats. So those are flats, all right? So, again, if he's vertical, he's locked up, he's locked up. Now, if he's not vertical, if he goes on a crossing route, safety looks to number 1 and he's undercutting anything. So, here's the deal for me. And this is not locked down. But, for simplicity's sake, if that guy is going across, normally, this guy's going post route. So, this safety is going to be under the post. The corner is over the top of the post. So, if number 2 goes away, The strong safety sits, puts eyes on number one, and he is taking anything. If he goes here, safety should drive, or from where he should be under, getting a pick. If he runs a curl, that's pick six. The corner is over the top for any double move. So if he runs a curl and go, he's going to drive. Corner is over the top. Linebackers to the flat. I know that's the flat's a little bit wider, but so this linebacker in this situation, here's the thing about linebackers, y'all. This linebacker, let me put him here, should be buzzing the flat. If there's nothing there, I hate when it does that. Buzz the flat. Is there nothing there? He tries to find work. We're not just going to be out here covering grass. If you feel there's no flat, let's try to find something. You can get to that curl, maybe you can undercut it. Right? You get to that curl, you get to the flat, maybe you can come back and get that curl. Okay? So, if this is why I say I love cover 4, because it kind of turns to cover 2. If you guys watch cover 2, if he runs an out route, linebacker should be buzzed. Now, he's going to be late now. So this puts the corner in a bind. If they run a corner route, this corner can't just drive this and leave his safety out to dry. So it's kind of like cover 4. So the corner has to be patient, trust his eyes on quarterback. He needs to protect this safety just in case he runs a corner route, because the safety is going to be inside. He's beat by a lineman. He runs a good corner route, he's beat. So this corner has to drop. Maybe not that far. Drop here and be able to drive if they try to do a quick one on that linebacker. And here's the thing. On defense, it's not about stopping all the routes and having them complete no passes. It's about making them, especially in the zone team, making them continue to snap the ball. So, in this case, you might give up an out route. You might give it up. They might complete it. You go up there and pound his ass. Pause. All right? You go in there and make him feel it. Keep doing it, and you keep putting that helmet, that plastic on him, he might start giving up some. Plus, if it's to the field, that's a long throw. The quarterback's got to be accurate. Because if he's not accurate, remember this linebacker's buzzing the flat. If he doesn't throw it out in front and throws it behind, depending on the athleticism of this linebacker, he might be able to undercut it and get into that window. I want people to understand, y'all, especially young guys, if they run an out route, this ball has to travel like that. Man, that gave me a straight line, right? If you can bisect that line, you don't have to go that way to get the pick. If you can bisect that window here, that's just as good. You don't have to follow him. If you can get in between him and the quarterback, probably be somewhere in there, go get it. That's the shortest distance anyway. Just look at the length of the line. Right? The shortest distance is obviously right here. That ain't gonna happen. Look how close you're to the quarterback. But look how much shorter it is to get to there. than it is to get to there. Right? Now you have to determine, can I get to this point? Can I get there? That's the difference to me between playmakers and guys who just play football. The ability to, on the fly, can I get to that point? You got some guys who are conservative who just gonna play. I'm just gonna make the tackle. Then you got guys who like, I'm gonna go get this one. I've timed him up. He's throwing enough passes to that out route where I know I can get to this spot. And you go make a play. So again, we're playing quarters. If I went on basically 4 verts, we got safeties carrying. He's carrying because number 2 is vertical. The corner is carrying number 1. Just like in cover 2 read. Same thing. All right. What else? What else, y'all? Now, another problem potentially is a flood route. All right. Flood routes can get us. And this route can get us anytime vertical and a deep out. In essence, a flood route. This is very hard on a safety. He's got no help. Now, you can ask this linebacker to buzz the flat, but then it get a little deeper. But now you're asking a guy to do a whole lot because he's got to run pass, then buzz the flat. He's probably not going to get depth. So that route is a killer. That deep out on the vertical route. So, so if number 2, old simple concept, number 2, arrow curl, safety drive the arrow, corner over the top. What else, y'all? Trying to think of what else do we have. So let's do this. So I think that's similar to cover 2. We read number 2, but this safety is aggressive and he's driving. If he goes away, he's driving all intercuts, mesh route. So that's the hardest one. And the reason why, because it's on the linebackers. So if they run mesh, we got a linebacker has middle hook. He has to play it and pass them on to that linebacker. If they go in shallow, it's a bitch because you're going to have some voids. But, I erase. You're going to have some voids because the reason why is because if you play it with these linebackers buzzing the flat, you got all of this. That's a problem. And when number 2 goes across, we are hooking up on number 1. So that can be a problem. Or, like I said, there's so many variations. Or if you want a mesh route, if a team killing you with mesh route like Mike Leach would, you can lock the corners, have the safety drive the mesh routes. That's just like, let's say for now you have Marshall Faulk back here. And he lines up outside the tackle. All right. If you're in like nickel or something, you have this as a nickelback and not a linebacker. what you could do is tell this corner he's man to man. And then have this linebacker and the safety play like cover 4. So now this linebacker becomes a corner. So now this linebacker becomes a corner, and now we're reading this is number 1 and this is number 2. So we lock him, and now we are playing normal cover 4 rules. That's an option. Let's like if they go, let's say they go trips. Just like in cover 2. Remember in cover 2, this safety has to carry number 3 if he goes vertical. You can do the same thing and tell him lock here. And we are playing these two like cover 4. Or you can have these two guys bracket here, have this corner play man, and have these two guys play these two cover 4. There's so many ways. So think about it. And this is why I'm a proponent of cover 4, because it turns into so many coverages. So we can also just run cover 6 out of this and run cover 2 to the boundary, to the short side. Remember I was saying the throw is shorter? We can play with a harder corner with a safety over the top because the field is reduced. Then play cover 4 to this side. So that's cover 6. So the linebacker, instead of buzzing the flat, he would play his hook. And we'll play cover 2 over here. Then this linebacker will buzz the flat. We'll play cover 4 over here. So now, in essence, we get back to having 1, 2, 3, 4 guys underneath zone for 6. And remember, the curl and the flat are in close proximity into the boundary. So you play cover 2 here, cover 4, 2 plus 4 is cover 6. And anyway, you know, even though it's cover 4, it can essentially turn into cover 6 if they run this. Because this corner has to protect. This is cover 2, right? That safety on the top. That turns into cover 2 anyway by the route combination. And if they run high-low, number 2 went vertical, he's man, he's man. So cover 4 turns into things on route combination. My favorite coverage is cover 4, Ben, and it's not even close. I will run. So I will run 2 coverages the whole game. I'll run 2 read and cover 4. I will run that the entire game in high school. I will run cover 2 read the entire game and not change. And my change will be cover 4. those to me are in high school. I think those are your best coverage, especially now where all teams want to spread you out. Like I wouldn't run cover 3. I mean, there are teams that you run cover 3 for. And there's definitely a place for it. But I would run 2 read and cover 4. Those are I'm installing those 2 coverages first because they are kind of the hardest. Because cover 2, let's just say, this safety reads that vertical for some reason. He drives it. But the corner reads it as not vertical, right? And this guy runs a curl. He's expecting a drive and he's off. They catch it. That can turn into something special. So it's very important that, or what can I do? Trying to think of a good route combination where or they run this and the safety think that's vertical and he drive and the corner think he's got inside help on the post. And he's just keeping his outside leverage, thinking he's got inside help, and they just run away from him. Because he thinks he's got somebody who's going to run underneath. That can hurt you. So it's very important for these guys to read what's vertical and what's not. But yeah, cover 4 to me, especially if you read the number 2 and you read it properly. I'm just thinking about this, y'all. Like if they come in trips, what you can do is you can box it if you want to. So box just means, in essence, we are creating a box. If I can get to that linebacker. For some reason that should lock those. You're creating a box with this. So this is your box. First outside, first inside, first deep outside, first deep inside. There are different offenses that's running backs that catch more passes than others. This is a difference. Yes, it could. So, man, see, now you're getting into real nuance. And again, I'm not a defensive coordinator, so try to keep it simple. Let's just say that this guy is really, really good. You might see how you want to do this. I know there's a push call. I can't remember how we ran it, y'all. That's still fine because linebacker into the flats. I can't remember, Steven, right off the top of my head. But yeah, it does make a difference. If that linebacker, if that running back is a threat, it can be a problem. Because you put your linebacker out there in space by himself. Because if you, like I said, if you run him off, right? Let's say you do that's a killer. Linebacker has flats, and then he's got to carry that running back up. That's a killer. Because remember, number 2 is vertical. Safety has him. Corner has this guy man. You just cleared out this whole side of the field. He doesn't even have to go a wheel route. He can go simple. Swing route. And he got this linebacker buzzing the flat. He's out there by himself. Yes, a running back can hurt you. For sure. Now, if you know what the route combinations are, I don't know how you can even, because you don't want a linebacker following that with a corner coming up. You just have to, if someone's beating you with this, you'll probably change cover. You'll probably play cover 6, get this to the boundary, and play cover 2 over here. And now he's in the hook. So now they run that. Well, shit, still though. Now, that's still a bitch. Because in cover 2 read, if number 2 is vertical, corner's got to carry him. Linebacker's in the hook. When he breaks out and you run this corner still got to come back to that. So honestly, Steven, a good running back can be a problem in any coverage unless with the right combination, route combinations. You've seen it. You've seen, like, fuck. When we played Louisville, why was the tight end wide open? Even Clemson. If you call the right, this is hardest thing for I think some fans to understand is the advantage in football is to the offense. The rules are to the offensive advantage, and I played offense. The rules are to the offensive advantage, and you dictate what the defense does. Now, sometimes a defensive coordinator can call the perfect call for a particular play, but that's not always a given. That's why players have to execute, because honestly, all you gotta do is make the offense continue to snap the ball. Don't give up big plays. The problem is when you give up big plays, I'm guessing backs that catch can be covered best by pass rush. Well, yes, that is true, but here's the thing, Shane. Watch myself and Anthony White on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's say this. Let's say they bring 5. Trying to think of some, y'all. Boy, there we go. All right. Let's say they bring 5. Let's just keep it simple. Here. Let's go here. Go here. Let's go here. So we basic. Let's go man. Here. Let's bring 6. So now let's bring this linebacker underneath. And this back's supposed to have him, right? Why have the back? There's 2 situations. Now, I guess this linebacker has him, right? If I come here and just leak out, like I know sometimes Anthony White didn't block. Whoever had him, or even if, let's just say, let's not even do that. Let's just have him come. They have Anthony run a choice route. He's the hot guy because he can't guard him. So as long as the offensive line makes the widest guy come to the quarterback, you got time on a choice route. You got about, 2 seconds? Release. Now you got him one-on-one with a linebacker. Clear out. Then you got him one-on-one with a linebacker. So sometimes you don't have to. I know I've seen it with Hal Mummy and A. White. To me, why waste your, and I know it's different situations, but why waste my running back on a blocker if I can put in one-on-one? Because here's the other thing is, let's say they bring 6, right? So they bring 6. If I come up and block, most defense play green dog, he's coming anyway. So that 6 turns into everybody coming. You know what I'm saying? So for me, if they bring in 6, I'm going to leave the running back out and have him man to man. If they bring in 5, I might have the running back protect and then leak out. I'm thinking. I'm just talking on the top of my head. If they bring 5, I should be able to block it. If they bring 6, I'm trusting, if I got a good back, I'm trusting my running back one-on-one with a linebacker. I'm trusting my running back one-on-one with a linebacker. And I got a good quarterback who's intelligent. His responsibility is number 6. Now, obviously, also, my first read, if you got hot routes, if he's coming, I'm running where I'm trying to pass the ball where he came from. But depending on game plan, I also know I got this running back on a linebacker one-on-one. I kind of like my options with that. Me personally. I just think sometimes it's just a waste to have your running back. Unless he's a great pass protector. Why not release him? Unless their linebackers are really good. Now, I'm talking high school to college. Now, NFL, these MFers, you got 4 elite pass rushers usually. You know, when you get to college, you probably got 2 of them. When you get to high school, you probably got 1. So, that's just my opinion. Where are we at? So, let's look at some film, y'all. Let's see what cover 4. Man, this is not cover 4. They got 5 guys. So, they got trips, right? If they are trips, we will probably box it and go first outside, first inside, first deep outside, first deep inside. So it wouldn't be cover 4. Let's see if we can get another one. So like in that situation, here's the hardest situation. When they both go outside. Ooh, that is hard, man. That's a hard route. That is a really good route because this is why it's hard. Because he fakes blocks and then he leaks out. Now for me, like I said all the time, y'all, make him throw it here. He doesn't want to throw it there. He doesn't. He wants to push the ball down the field. Period. But let's say you're boxing it. One guy has to stay here. Other guy's deep. You got a guy here waiting for that. You should have a linebacker here in a little depth because there's nothing threatening him. So that's your box. But this pass, in a box, that pass in that void is a good one. He's got to drive it. And that's the hardest thing for me in the box is him being comfortable driving that route. I'm going to make the tackle. It's 3rd and forever, y'all. That's why. Just realize it's 3rd and forever. So now we're in quarters. So many ways you can put it if it's closed. I'm pushing this safety over because there's this tight end is nothing. That's only one. I'm pushing him over. Now, it depends. I would probably run quarters on these two and push him over there for 3. Let's see who. Oop. So now he comes back. Let me go back to quarters. And there's a run play. I didn't freaking. Let me see some, y'all. I don't like to do all these plays. Let me see if I can add. Okay, I think these are all pass plays. Let's go to the, all right. Let's go here. So quarters. Ooh, that's trips. Now, depends on how you want to run it. I might check out of quarters on empty. Let's see. So they're a bunch. So let's stay in quarters because they're 2 by 2. Let's see what they run. So 2 is not vertical, right? Oop, let me stop it. 2 is not vertical. Linebacker buzz the flat. Now we are bracketing number 1. Now this safety be up closer and this corner should be back. In essence, let's see what happens after this. See what route he runs. So he's running a corner route. Corner should be sinking. So we should be in good shape. Linebacker should be buzzing the flat. This should be covered pretty well, right? He should be actually where this guy is. This corner should be deeper. All right, see what happens up top. That's a hard one. Are we saying that number 2 is running across? No, I think he's vertical. So we should be locked up. That's a hard one because the reason why it's hard is because he released inside, but then he stemmed up. That's a hard one on that corner, boy. Because he did not go across. He was not flat. So we should be man, corner under, buzz the flat, corner over the top. Safety should be about even. We should have that locked down. Ooh. Y'all, this is the hardest thing, man. This is the hardest thing. And I'm going to do this more this spring with my DBs is staying square. So once this guy opens up with 8 yards of distance, anything that way, he's got a speed turn, and that's hard. If he stays square in his pedal, now obviously in cover 4 it wouldn't be square, so I'm talking outside of my mouth now. But if you're not, we gotta be able to speed pedal. But if we're playing cover 4, it would be flat, and he would be able to get a jam here. But man, we gotta stay in that pedal as long as we can. Look at the difference. I know I don't speak outside of the cover 4. Look how square he is. Look how long he stays square. 5. See how even though he shuffling, his shoulders are still square. Now he can get a jam, right? Get a jam. Now he's in position. Man, this is just too much space to turn our hips. I mean, he's got that safety. That's ball game. Oof. Oof. All right, bunch. Again. Corner. Linebacker. Other linebacker. Safety. We are going to box it. So, first inside will be a linebacker. First outside will be a linebacker. We have that box. We will still have a safety here. We got a corner here. So what happens next? So that corner would take that one. So we got outside linebacker, where that guy inside linebacker, corner, and safety freed up. Whoa, a couple more plays, y'all. I got this track meet tomorrow. All right. Let's see what they're going to do. Motion into bunch. Now, this becomes number one. This becomes number two. All right. Number two runs out. That's not a vertical. So linebackers buzzing flat. Corner, safety sitting, ready to drive on any in cut. Corner's outside. He should be in great shape for this corner route deep out. Almost, this is, no, they're not playing quarters because they're playing man. So that's perfect on this side. Almost like we will run quarters. Let's see what's top of the screen. So they run a switch release. Shit, this is hard. Now, if they switch release this quickly, you can now call him number one. This is game plan. Now he's number two. I would make them number one and number two. All right. So now number two. With that linebacker wouldn't be there. He would be buzzing the flat. Let's say they ran here and here. So then that safety, just like he's doing now. See how he's reading number 8? He would drive that now. Corner would be over the top. Almost like they did there. That's perfect. Again, same thing. You can push the safety over for number 3. This is number 1. Looks like it's unbalanced anyway. That's an offensive lineman. So number 2. Ooh. They run out here. What number 3 run? So in essence, if he's going vertical, the safety will push to that. Now, if he stops, safety can drive 1. We also got a guy in the flat. This inside linebacker will push to that. That little thick route. That's a hard one, man. But if you push the safety, those 2 on that side could play a little harder. Let's see if this is the last one. So what is that? What would we call that? Would we call him number 3 or would we call him number 2? When number 2 blocks, this guy will become number 2. And so now this safety in this corner can bracket. And now this safety back here and that corner can bracket. All right, y'all. That's all I got. Got a meet in the morning. So we might do some more cover 4. I don't know. We'll see. I know someone asked me to do some look at some of the portal guys. I might do that next week. I haven't determined. But I apologize again for the late notice. Shane, I appreciate you coming on live. And obviously Ben and Stephen C. I will see y'all. I guess I'll see y'all next week potentially. And yeah, me too. Me, Shane. It's gonna be a long day, man. Gonna be a long day. From 10 to probably 9 o'clock. 10 a.m. to 9 o'clock. And it's supposed to rain. So it's gonna be even worse. But it is what it is, man. It's track season, the best time of the year. Again, if y'all didn't know, I was a track guy that played football. I love track. To me, track is the capitalist of sports. If you don't know how to run, you're not gonna be fast. So all these MFers who do, look, boys now about to go on a rant. But all you MFers who go play 7-on-7, ain't no scholarships given out based on 7-on-7. Listen to me. Ain't no scholarships given out based on a coach seeing you play 7-on-7. But you can get a good look if you go run a 10-500. Go run a 10-500, go run a 47-400 or a 20.1, 20.5, 200, or run a 13-9, 110 hurdles. That will get you noticed. I promise you. If you go run that speed, shit. We had Jordan Anthony here who's a track guy. He got a down full scholarship, and now he's on his his third team from us to Texas A&M. I can't remember where he just went to. He went to Auburn, I think. Dude, if you have good running mechanics and you can fucking fly, somebody will look at you. So ain't shit gonna happen. I promise you. Ain't shit happening 7-on-7. If your ass is running a 4.640 as a wide receiver or DB, and you want to drop that damn thing to a 4.4, get your ass on a track team. Even a bad coach, just the fucking sprinting 2 to 3 times or 2 times a week will help you get faster. Ain't shit happening. Ain't shit happening with 7-on-7, y'all. All right. That's my van rant. I appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Locker. Myself and Anthony White. It's a good watch and listen, y'all. All right, man. I'm out. See y'all next week, potentially.